Welcome to Job Tips, the career development channel. In this video, a short lesson on goal setting. That's coming up. So how do you set goals? What does a goal look like? How many goals should you have set at one particular time? The reason I make that point is that it's not uncommon, say for example in the job world, that the boss says you have 15 goals for the next 12 months and here are your goals. And now you have the unenviable task of figuring out how you're going to accomplish all 15 of those goals. And some experts say that it's more challenging if you have more than about 5 or 6 actual goals to accomplish. That is to say, if you have 10 or 15 or 20 goals, it just becomes a wish list of things versus things that you can actually get accomplished, because you have to be able to take a goal and then structure out how you're going to get to that goal and be successful at the end of whatever the time period is that you've set for yourself. So you may have heard of S.M.A.R.T goals. That's S.M.A.R.T, and that is an acronym for specific. The goal should be specific. It should be measurable. It should be attainable. It should be relevant. Some would say realistic. And it should also be time-based. So let's get down to specific. Don't just say, I want to increase sales this year, right? Give yourself a number. I want to increase sales by a specific amount. Be very specific with the amount, okay? Then you may have some tactics how you're going to get to that number. But the goal is increase sales by $50,000. Or the goal is write a book about this. Or the goal might be finish my bachelor's degree. What have you. You follow my point here. So make it very specific. Also, it needs to be measurable. I mean, how do you know if you've actually achieved the goal if you can't measure it? If you just say, I'm going to, for example, continue going to college versus finish my degree. What does that mean? Just meander through miscellaneous courses that don't take you anywhere specifically? If it's just increased sales, well, how much? How do you measure it? Unless you have that specificity I mentioned a few moments ago. So be sure that they're measurable. Also make sure that they're attainable. Don't say, don't make a goal if you haven't yet gone to college and you say, I want to become a PhD this year. That's not attainable. It's not realistic. Unless you go online and buy a degree and forge your way through, right? But if it's a realistic thing, if it's something that is real, it must be realistic. If you have only sold X amount of growth per year in your sales career and you say, I want to increase my sales by, let's say, 10 times that amount, maybe you'll do that, but it also may be really, really unrealistic. And the reason the realistic part comes into play is that if it is not realistic, you won't be serious about attaining it, because at some point you will say, I'm never going to hit this goal. What's the point in continuing to strive and strive and can become disappointed every step of the way? It is the most surefire way of truly disappointing yourself and maybe those around you, in case you have set up some accountability partners and you've told your accountability partner, look, I'm going to get my PhD my first year, and maybe that person doesn't quite understand the details that are involved and the difficulty or the realistic level of your goal, and they're kind of pushing you to do whatever that goal is, in this case a PhD in 1 year, or 10xing your sales objectives. That person will be let down, you'll be let down, because it's just not realistic. So make it realistic, that way you continue striving toward a goal that you can actually hit. But also make it stretch. We used to call those stretch goals. I mean, maybe you've got a goal that says, I'm going to increase sales by this amount, and maybe you push yourself to a tad more, maybe another 5% or whatever is realistic in your world, okay? So realistic and relevant to your career, relevant to the situation at hand, relevant, that's the other part of the R word. I prefer realistic in this SMART acronym, S-M-A-R-T, realistic. And the other is time-based. So you need to have a sense of, by when will this goal be reached? So you may have goals that reach out for the full year. You may have goals that are just week to week to week. That's okay. You need to know by when is that goal going to be reached? What is my objective? So you got, remember, you got specific, measurable, attainable, realistic or relevant, and then time-based. SMART goals, right? I hope that helps you. Please comment down below what you thought about this video, and also provide some suggestions of other video topics you would like me to cover. I appreciate that so much. If you do like this video, if you like the channel, I would encourage you to please subscribe. That'll help us grow. Hit that notification bell to not miss any future videos that come out, and share this with your friends as well. I'd appreciate that so much. On behalf of Job Tips, I hope you have the kind of job or career that you want to have.